Whoa. Hey guys, it's me, Juan. I'm back. I am here. We're in Corpus at the dock and the marina. I wanted to check in with y'all. They how dealing and what I've been experiencing going through. And I just honestly, I'm just exhausted. I'm completely totally exhausted and drained. And I have nothing left to do. I and share what's up. And to be real and to be honest, and I'm just completely overstimulated and overwhelmed to the point where I don't even know. So like constantly just worrying about where I can park my car to sleep, if I'm gonna get a knock on my door, some creepy dude outside my car trying to worrying about where how if I'm gonna make enough grinding hours each night driving around and spending the money I earn on gas and then figuring out food and then eating all this fucking junk food that just makes me feel horrible and exhausts me even more. And then wanting sugar because that's the only thing that gives me dopamine. And yeah, that's the only thing that can provide comfort when you literally are scrunched up, sleeping in a car, not knowing if you're going to be able to sleep through the night, not being comfortable, having nobody to talk to. And that's the thing, right? Is I went through all this so that I could have healthy, happy relationships and reciprocal connecting relationships with people. But now it's like, literally people treat you like garbage when you're doing the delivery stuff. Like it's all just people that are unhappy, right? Because they're stressed out too, like fast food workers or restaurant staff, and they just treat you like okay, like, and then the people getting their deliveries are like, where's my food? Like, so, and then you're driving around and the apps are telling you people like on time or like, and then they're throwing multiple orders at, like, it's like, so you're doing all this while literally trying to live each day off of barely any sleep, like not knowing where your next meal is going to come from, where you're going to lay your head. Like when I started this journey, it was for like the belief that I was going to have a peaceful, finally happy, free life where I could have friends and relationships and not feel, horrible about myself every day. And now it's like I've learned so much, and I realized that those people were just, they weren't good people. And like, that's where you learn to set boundaries, right? Because you realize like those things from the past, like that was never you. Like they were very mentally ill, unhappy people that took things out on you and you overgave and drained yourself and exhausted yourself in that process of just giving and giving and giving for people who were never going to be appreciative or see it or be able to return it. But now it's like you're out there alone, taking everything you knew and everything you learned, and you're just trying to get through each day. And there are good parts, right? There are good parts, like being in the sunshine, being able to not oh my god, a dead bird. There's literally a drowned dead bird right there. That's that's how it feels. Like you're a drowned bird stuck under the water, bro. And like I'm proud of myself for like writing my poetry, writing my songs, my raps, and being able to express myself and having the courage and the boldness to put that out there, to put my art out there, and to continue to express myself and put myself out there, even though it meets complete silence from any, like, it gets nothing. And it's just super draining too, right? Is continuing to pour myself out there onto the world. Like, all of just everything has been very exhausting because you're grinding trying to survive, and then you're pouring yourself into your creativity, and then you're pouring that out there and taking all that time and effort to put it out there and put it out there to the world, and then just having like nobody, like, it's like, so you point out your feelings or your excitement, whatever it is, you put it out there, and it's like nobody says anything, and that's been going on for over a year. So it's like I've been suffering online and in the world for a really long time now. And I'm trying to be open to connections and relationships, and because that is the only point of life, right? Is love and connection. Like, that's the point of this earth. The only thing that matters in life. When you're gone, like, that's the only thing that matters, is the amount of love that there was, the amount of people who truly knew you and saw you for who you were. And it's like, it's so hard to continue to do that, because even when you're just like happy or like friendly, it's like just the constant being underrated and feeling judged, like people judging you for how you look or assuming things are easy for you because of how you look. Like, they have no idea that you're literally like trying to, you know have enough energy to sleep through the night or get up in the morning, like, or like live another day. And it's like they just look at you and are rude to you because of their own opinions. You'll take the time, like, you'll take the time to try and like put yourself out there and be happy and be nice to someone, and like, and then they'll just return it with negative energy and hatefulness. And it's like, yes, I've done all this work to protect my energy and my time, but it's like, you can't take all of this and carry all of this by yourself for such a long amount of time. And a lot of things are coming up right now. Like, I thought I had done all my healing and understanding, and like I was ready to move forward. But it's like when you're suffering through these circumstances, it comes back even harder, and you see things even more. And it's hard because you don't want to, like, you don't want to think about those things or those people anymore, and you don't want to relive any of that. Like, you did all this work to move past it, you want it gone. But you can't blame yourself and be mad at yourself for what your body and your spirit and your mind are remembering, for what they're telling you, for what they're feeling. It's just so hard. It's like there's constantly I'm just so overwhelmed, and there's constantly an issue, like, but I wanted to, like, I believed in myself. I believed that I'm meant for more. I believe that I'm here for a purpose. I believe in my journey. I'm just tired of, and then tired of spending like hours at night driving around cities, delivering food to people, spending all that money on gas. Maybe you make enough after 3, 4, 5 days to stay at some dodgy motel, that is literally disgusting, and you have to wear shower shoes anyways, like a camp. Literally, camps are better. National parks camping is better, bro. Because at least there aren't creepy people. It's usually families or people that are just, survivalists, whatever, and they're doing their own thing. And then they actually have clean bathrooms. Like these crappy motels with crappy, nasty freaking beds and bathrooms and towels. And it's like you do all, you grind through and do all that for days, like whatever, to have a place to sleep. And then I don't know. It's like turn. I don't want to go back past the dead bird. Run for Congress. Uh-huh. It's just, I don't know. It's really hard. And then it's like, people like, you work up all this energy just to make yourself happy and have a good day, right? And then you'll be out in the world and people will just take out their, like, they're just so nasty. Like, I was doing a delivery to these apartments and there were these little kids, like 9-year-olds out on the playground, and they were saying some horrible stuff, bro. Like calling each other hoes and like trying to fight each other. And it's just so sad because that's literally come straight from the environment they're in and how their parents talk and talk to them. And it's like that's how awful human beings are to one another, and that's why they grow up into being such hateful adults that treat other people like that out in the world and feel the need to make fun of others or take from others or like try to hurt and harm people that they don't know. Oh my god, it is a big sea turtle. Oh, he was just flipping around. Oh, that was cute. And for me, that hit especially hard earlier because I was thinking about I was tired of fast food and I found a place that was like supposed to be all natural. I don't know. I had my first avocado toast. I don't even like avocado. Hey, there's the sea turtle. Hey, wait, he's really big. Oh my god, he looks like the art pieces that people do. Oh my god, my eyes are burning. My skin is burning, bro. It's so dry. Watch, I'm gonna turn it around and start talking again. He's gonna pop back up. Burns. Okay. But I was thinking about this, so I was able to take care of myself, right? Having some food to eat that was not salty and whatever else. And it came to me. I was just like thinking about Gypsy Rose and about, like her mom really like there he is. Oh my stop playing with me. Come back. Yes. Yes. Did y'all see that? Yes. See, even the animal, like things like that, it really is like the isolation, bro, just really gets to you. Like, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. They're flipping around playing. Come back. Come back. Okay. So, but every time I flip it around and start talking, they come back. Um, It really is just the isolation and stuff that gets on you, but it's like, bro, it's so hard. It's so hard when you're like, you're living like this, like in an abnormal way, like, and then going through all of this inner work, like just trying to meet people that you really connect with, that you don't have to, you know, and then learning that about myself too, right? Is realizing that, and a lot of people, I mean, this is how our society works, though. This is how they train people to be hireable and behave a certain way and act a certain way. Holy shit. Is they want people to perform and not be themselves, right? Is to adapt to how we're supposed to behave and supposed to act. And that's why people, oh my God. Yeah. And that's why people aren't able to really just fully be authentically themselves, right? Because they want to be decent humans or friendly humans or good neighbors or partner, like whatever the case may be, you know? And so it's like realizing that, and then I get really hard on myself, right? Because it's like I want to be an individual and I want to stand firm in my own energy and who I am and express myself boldly, and not dim that intensity and not dim that power just to make other people comfortable. And so it's like it's been that journey while dealing with survival conditions, while being in isolation, while healing from the past and trying to move forward and not be hard on myself and be gentle with myself and dealing with just creepy people and bad energy out there in the world. Like, bro, I feel like, I was trying to I noticed like this seawall thing. I don't know. I was trying to hang out here the other day. Like I turned off my phone, I went to the art gallery. It was freaking awesome. It was really great, really inspiring. I want to go back. Great, great art. It really uplifted me and showed me, like again, another one of those times. Every time you're around art or music or, life-giving things, like, it's okay to be who you are, like, anything that comes to your mind, it's not weird, it's not abnormal, like, you're allowed to express yourself, and it's wanted, and it's needed, and it's valued, and there are people out there who do get it and who, where there are places where you're safe, and so that's why I was having one of those experiences, and then I came out on the seawall, and that's where I wrote the song that I shared with y'all. That hashtag L Barbie. Yeah. If y'all haven't checked that out, I put that on here on YouTube and it's on my IG and TikTok. Okay. But yeah, I was really excited about that. That was fun for me. Okay. You know, so I was writing that out here. Before I did though, I was so exhausted. I was just like I just laid down on the concrete and like was meditating and low key fell asleep by the marina. Woke up and there was like Olympic it was like kids training for the Olympics doing like sailing. I don't know. It was tripping me out though. There was like honking and balloons. It was like a whole thing going on. And then there were people jet skiing and shit. I was like, okay, here's the turtle. Here's the turtle. Hi. Hey, friend. Yeah. Uh, and I had woke up after that and wrote my song, but literally when I was just laying out there trying, like, you know how many just this one dude, I thought it was the same dude, but I think it was like two different ones. But it was like just kept coming by trying to say random things to get my attention, and it was just like you just feel like you can't go any. It's so annoying because it's like on one hand you can't go anywhere. This turtle, you can't go anywhere without without being bothered, without being judged or having your attention called for, or someone trying to tell you where you shouldn't be or how you shouldn't act, or what or what isn't okay, or like, trying to judge you, trying to assume things about you or your energy or your character. Like, I just want to fucking be. I just want to lay here on this concrete under the sun in peace. I don't want to tell you my name. I don't want to tell you where I'm from. No, I don't want to tell you about how my day is. I just want to fucking breathe. And then it's like, so it's like that. And then it's like when you are trying to be intentional and communicate with people, there's like those situations. And then there are times when you're trying to communicate with people and and have it, actually have conversation and stuff. And it's just like, met with negative. There's a difference between somebody, I don't have to explain this, but there's a difference between somebody literally sitting outside minding their own business, like with their eyes shut, being bothered, and then someone with eye contact, face to face, and you're having to try to like there's a conversation. I don't need to explain that, but anyways, it's just so frustrating. And so it's like after all these interactions and everything you have to think about and do in the day to like literally just live, like it's like there's nothing else to give, bro. But it's just crazy, right? Because I've been listening to my playlist and my songs and the music has been healing this whole time, right? That's been a long part of the journey. That's what has gotten me to start writing and expressing my own. But it's like hearing songs back and just seeing them from a completely different standpoint and realizing how you felt then and what your mindset was then and how that song made you feel and what you thought was going to happen or like where you were going to go when that song was on, and then coming around full circle now and realizing how much you've grown and how far along you are in your process. And it's like that's I'm so proud of myself even when everything feels like hell, even when I feel like walls and layers just laying down on my body and I'm with no way out. Like my mind, my spirit, and my heart has done all of that, has come through all of that, has become who I am. And nobody can take that away from me. But I think what's hard, right, is to, I've been so like, it's just been hard to feel my feelings again because you're constantly on feeling pressure and rush and impulse and what's the next thing I need to do? I need to do this. Like there's no time to just sit and breathe and let yourself feel because you're worried about literally everything else. And it's like, I did all that work to get where I am, but it's like now you feel like claustrophobic and it's like I just don't know where to go from that. You know, it's been hard, like especially with putting myself out there and putting my music out there, like not being where I want to be at it's hard. It's always been hard not to compare yourself in this world, right? Because that's how it's set up. Literally, this whole world is about competition and comparing and where you stack up and what's for me and how do you stack up compared to others and what's the grade point average and like, oh, other like, that's literally how it is. Like to make people all stampede towards something, towards a goal, towards an ideal, towards whatever illusion they want you chasing. And so whether it's, to get into a school or to get a job or to, compete right for a relationship or your parents' love or best friend, like which you don't have to do any of that, right? Um, and if you ever like you should never have to do that. That's what all this was about, right? Is you should never have to do any of that. You should be loved unconditionally for who you are, not how much you earn, not how much you prove, not how much you chase, how much you sacrifice. Um, right. So, but yeah, it's been hard not to compare because it's like, damn, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could be at this point, or I really want to, look this way, or I really want to feel that way, or and it's like, and all these things, wishing and wanting and comparing, all of that just takes away from who you are, whatever you're meant to be, and enjoying your yourself and your time on this earth because it is impossible. You are, first of all, it's impossible. You are never going to be someone other than who you are, and you don't need to be. You were created with purpose and intentionality to be exactly who you are. I think again, what gets hard is literally just the pressure when all the pressure gets to you and the fear gets to you and the you know fear, loneliness, doubt, pressure, all the negative things, right? When those get to you and other people's control and judgment, because that makes you feel guilt and shame. And that's what I was so proud of myself, right? Is being able to conquer through the guilt and the shame and continuing to own how I feel in my own words and express them and be proud of myself for what I want and who I am and what I want to explore and learn. And my spirit's just dampered because it's like I want the opportunity to continue those things, right? So that's what I'm continuing to push on and fight for is opportunity, chances, openness. It's so funny, right? Because I'm dockside at the American Gulf Coast, and since the dawn of time, that's why people have come to America is for opportunity, freedom and opportunity. Yeah, insane. Yeah. Continuing to go in my journey of owning my individuality, embracing that I don't have to be like anybody else to be accepted or loved or wanted or needed, that I don't need to fight for anybody else's love. And that's the thing, right? Is going back to the Gypsy Rose thing, bro, is just her mom literally did all of that stuff to her, bro, to make people, to get other people's attention, to get sympathy. And because she was obviously like seriously mentally ill. And she did that to this girl. And that girl, and shit. And then she found that older guy took advantage of her online. And then that horrible stuff happened because she literally look at what had happened to her. And then people still, you know what I'm saying? And all that. And then people, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, and I used to just growing up, like, I literally got my mom like the Mommy Dearest movie for a Mother's Day one time. And she thought it was so funny. And like she would watch that, like the Gypsy Rose stuff, and she would just be like, she would loves that shit. And she would just be like, "You're lucky I didn't do that to you." Like my whole life, she just terrorized me and thought it was funny. And then everybody was like, "Oh, your poor mother. Oh, she's so sweet. Tony, you're so mean to her." Like my whole life, people have gaslit me and underestimated me. She's too hyper. She's annoying. She just wants attention. You love Jesus too much. You're too happy. But then whenever you shared your real emotions and tried to get real connection, like you're too needy. You need too much. They would literally be completely ignoring you, scrolling on their phone, spending hours on Instagram, saying the most horrible stuff about other people. You just need too much. I don't know. Like all of these people, all of these takers and narcissists, bro. And that's all the kind of stuff, that I left behind. And that, you can't regret anything, but it's like there's a lot of not like, a lot of negative taking energy in this world. And people validate that because for whatever reason, because of how it looks, right? Because of how it looks on social media or because of how it's acceptable to behave that way. But then it's like these are real things. Like these are the people having children and families and like interacting in this world and continuing these cycles. And then you have all these creepy guys and dudes and guys that treat people like dirt, bro. Like they just walk around driving their trucks around, taking up all this space, never giving a single thought to anybody who's around them. Like just innocent, gentle people. Like it's just, I can't help but notice the way that all of these different types of humans go about in the world and the kind of energy they put out and how they interact and carry themselves and about how they view other human life. And it's frustrating because I grew up always taking on that responsibility and that burden, right, to cater to it or to think there was something wrong with me because of the behavior. But no, just like, and no one ever corrected them, but they'll punish the people that notice these things and try to control the people that notice these things. or gaslight them. Like, that's why it gives me so much peace when I do meet other people that are just like, like when you notice like the kind, soft people out in the world, like families or, like people that are owning their individuality, their weirdness, like whatever, like their artisticness, their creativity, like all of the different things. When you notice these types of people, it makes you feel safe. It makes you feel like, oh, okay, like we're good. Everything is okay. Like it lifts off that pressure. Yeah. So big venting sesh here. But it's just like, that's another thing is right. Again, we go back to how these relationships we have, they connect back with how we were raised. And so it's like if you're terrorized and abused by your your parent or guardian figure, then you're constantly pleasing a narcissistic, abusive individual. And that's the thing, right? Is you might like you're just your body is trained that way, like to give them all of your time and energy and attention and thoughts, and like it just becomes like an obsessive thing, and it takes your life, it takes your power. And so taking your power back from that and realizing it was never even about that person. Nothing could have been done differently. It was never about that person. It was all about how the society works and about how we're trained to view relationships and take away from the pains of life. Like literally, we put people like people don't know, like people drink for something to do, right? That's like they poison their bodies to cope with the fact of life. Like whether you just, oh, I just drink socially, or oh, I only drink on a Friday night with friends. You're literally putting boys poison. Like it does nothing beneficial to you. It is literally like you're poisoning, dosing poison into your body to have fun or to interact or to like, to feel good or to have a good night. Like we have to do that to get by in this life. Why would we have to harm ourselves to experience something good? That doesn't make sense. Baby, there's a shark in the water. Na 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 na. No. Baby, in the water. It's an underrated song, bro. That shit went crazy too. Yeah. It's Corpus Christi, Texas. The seawall. It's a pure. Yeah. But yeah. Shout out to Australia. One's not sure. I don't know. It's been hard. And like I can't even explain to y'all too. Like I say things out loud, but it's like actually living it, actually reliving the emotions and reliving the memories and the experiences is a whole other and doing that completely sober and while in survival mode. Like this has been the most intense like my life, everything about it has been intense. Like I've never not felt except for what those years where I just like hid out and numbed out and dulled out and ignored everybody and completely shut down, like in Vampire Diaries when they do this shut off humanity. Like, except for that, like, there's never been a time where I've not felt this much emotion. But it's like this has been the most intense, like, bro, it's constantly life or death feeling. And so it can be frustrating and relaxing to see people who are just like, "Oh, yeah, whatever. Like sometimes it's relaxing because it's like, okay, look, we can chill. Okay. And then sometimes it's just like, ew. I'm just gonna throw a freaking ice block at their head. Yeah, but I think like I can't even living the abuse, trauma, realizing from a different lens, relationships, realizing that, that because you had those bad relationships, like it's so frustrating because it's like I realize like, I am open to love. My heart is open. Like I do realize like I'm not unlovable. I'm not unworthy. Like I am worthy and I am completely lovable. And no matter what the circumstances are. And it's like it's hard just feeling the weight of all of this and all this confusion and overwhelm and trying to open myself up to experience relationships with a new way in a new way in a new way like like yeah, I made my cute songs and stuff but like I've never dated like I've never dated girls in that way. I've never like whatever like and it's like so frustrating 'cause it's like that's a whole new realm for me and a whole new way of relationships and I'm like I feel like I can't even explore that because of everything else I have going on right now and like it's in relationships or and connection is already a hard thing and an intense thing and it's like this is just all so confusing. I've never had so much instability and confusion and overwhelm at one point in life and it's like she's independent. She's completely independent, but it's like the hyper independence, right? Where I'm literally freaking isolated. Like I don't want to rely on anybody for anything. I'm doing everything to survive on my own so I don't have to ask anyone for a freaking thing. Like it's literally like me, my car, my phone, and I'm getting us through each day in the chat. My music my music, my, you know, the Juan fam. I told y'all I would be keeping y'all with me on this journey, and I have been keeping y'all close. I've been sharing everything with you guys. But yeah, my goal is to feel stop trying to hustle and survive so much right now and to slow back down again so I can process these feelings that have been coming up and actually feel them and not worry as much about, you know, posting and streaming and sharing my music, but like literally feeling again. It's just hard when I feel like, y'all are like my only connection to the world. Like y'all, y'all hear me. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's like the past, present, future just constantly swirling about. And that's the thing, right? Is the constant pressure of making the right decision, right? To not mess up, to not, you know, and then it's just so much because there's that, and then there's the well, what's meant for you will not be missed. Jim Sparsa, go to play, blah blah. So it's like the constant pushing of the spiritual mantras and information and positivity, and then the oh, but feel your feelings, take your time, but oh, you only have one life, like live it to the fullest, give it all you got, like all of this rumination is what it is. All of this running together just in a cycle wash in my head. And I'm trying to get it out and to actually have be heard and seen for who I am and what I'm trying to say and have that reciprocal connection. But, it also goes back to where I have to realize where I'm overgiving my explanations and overgiving my time and overgiving my energy and effort, you know? It's just hard when you actually care about things and you're dedicated to something. But, you can be as much time and energy and dedication as you can put into something someone else, again, not you can't compare, but it is frustrating when someone else like they are just given everything, put in like one thing, like not even a thought about it, and just boop, and it's like, oh yeah, life's great. But that's the way it is. That doesn't mean you stop being on your journey, that you stop trying, that you stop learning and stop living because it's your life to live, yourself to understand, and your journey to take in. Malibu Barbie. I'm like, how did that's crazy. I'm right hand dominant, y'all. And when I put the nails on the other day, I used my right hand to put them on the left. So that should have been the nails that stuck on better, but all of those came off. And it's actually the right hand. That's crazy. Yeah. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I feel like I feel like there's just more to get out. I'm sure it'll come it'll come to me. Basically, I'm gonna take more time here than I thought though. In Corpus. Gonna be here longer than I thought. Trying to decide if I go back in somewhere to try and get help or if I keep toughing it on my own. I don't know what's best for me right now, but I'll figure it out. Um, Listening to my body and realizing though what it's just crazy because you can really see how it reacts though to everything, whether it be food or people or how you take care of yourself. Like I realized, all that preparation and leading up to my escape, um, what I, how I lost all that weight, right? That's lost all that weight, but it was more than that. It was like I had cut out sodas, coffee, fast food, spending any money for the longest time, and then that's what led me up. And worked out and would do my 5Ks, and then I would stream with y'all. Like all those things, even though I was suffering, like also in isolation. This whole time, I've just been isolated, bro. But ah, did all that, and then got the chance to leave. And so now realizing though, like, eh, and then meditating and stretching, all that. But realizing, like, my body's really been struggling because been sleeping scrunched up in my tiny car, can't work out, living off fast food, and I've been indulging for comfort and coffees, milkshakes. Like all of that is just and now I've been having the sodas again. And it's like trying not to guilt and shame myself, like, right, for how you can see the fluctuation in your body, but again, that's that perfectionism and obsessiveness. And it's like who you are on the inside. All of this is just such a mind fuck, right? Because it's like all those old insecurities and then people online, how they talk just because and that's another thing too, is you can I can hear it too in like in new music and in songs and how people talk out in the world, especially like people who aren't emotionally intelligent or people that don't have very good education. They the things that they talk about and the way that their insecurities, like people feel the need to they talk about what they're insecure about, like they flex with what they're insecure about. So whether it be like, oh, I got money, oh, you're broke, or I smell good, I look good, like you're dirty. So it's like people that point out those things, like you can tell, like either that's something things people said to them in their home or like growing up, or like, like so like that's the worst thing they think of, like being broke or not smelling good, you know? And it's like, what's it gonna matter if you none of those things matter. It's just immature. Like there's way bigger things that matter. Like there's a whole world out there. There's real shit. It's just, you know? So it's like these are all different points that I've realized and been thinking of. Like they're literally like like they're literally children suffering out there, bro, and people growing up feeling unloved and like people suffering from isolation and loneliness and lack of love in this world of all types. And y'all are worried about the dumb shit or like what you need to prove to other people. And that's what's frustrating about going on TikTok live or something, right? Is it's just full of people needing attention and not knowing how to communicate in a even being kind like to themselves or others, like they're just full of judgment and needing to prove something that they're good looking or have followers. Like, dude, when I was having fun making those TikToks and shit on the beach the other day, it was like this group of young people were next to me. I was like, oh, cool. They were like, like, yes, I wasn't the only one taking pics out there amongst the oldies. Like, we were living, which, you know what? The oldies were minding their own damn business anyway. They didn't give a fuck. Like. And so it was like, yes, I can live. No, I'm not gonna be attacked. Like, you know? Um, which you shouldn't have to live on the defensive. You should it's just that's another exhaustion point, right? Is that I constantly have to literally people are always there with something to say. And so that's why it's so relieving when it's like people are just minding their own damn business. They're not worried about what you're doing. That is my favorite, is because that's healing to me. And it's like I can do what I want without someone trying to control or have like dude, I can just fucking breathe, sing, dance, yes, whatever the fuck I want to do without someone having an eyeball or a mouth to yap. And so anyways, but the girl was just like, I got 40 likes. And it's like, damn, bro, like that's really how. And then I heard this rap. I really love hearing, obviously, other artists, people independent that are coming up, right, too, and are that, sharing their music. People like me who are literally just normal people who are putting their stuff out there, expressing themselves. And I was like, there was this one chick, I was really fucking with her stuff. I was like, okay, girl, spit the bars, yes. And it was just like, I never post something unless it does big numbers. And so it's like all of this stuff, it just takes me back to being like 12, 13 years old or something. Like it's just like, and it's like y'all are in y'all's 20s now, and people are worried about that. So it's like it goes from, again, the flexing of money, of how you smell, of like you're I got like all of this dumb shit when it's like they're literally like children out there home, like, this world is just so, you can't. It's really crazy and it makes no sense, bro, and it's really sick and it's sad. So yeah, so we can't take any of it seriously, and you gotta enjoy the things that you enjoy. I wanna go fishing. All these boats out there, and I feel like they're fishing boats. They're like the Jaws type, like a little bigger, you know? Is she done with her grant? Yeah. Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind. Fuck does it get out of your mind? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what, oh, okay. It was this witchy shop. I got this cute little axolotl. Let me show you. What song did I hear the other day? And it was like, I don't know if it was Gucci or Juicy J or something. And they said, sh- oh, a yellow chick with green hair, real weirdo. And I was like, yeah, bitch, yeah. But I was in this witchy store, and I got this soft little pink axolotl because it reminded me to be gentle with myself and to be safe with myself, not to be so hard on me. And it's cute. It says something about dragon eggs, but it's nothing. It's very soft. Yeah. In the store, there was a bunch of beautiful things too. There was a bunch of powerful Egyptian women statues and crystals, and again, it reminded me of, and then Gaia, Mother Gaia, right? with her Buddha belly and nipples out, bitch, and the earth divine around her. And it's like literally, yes, bro, like the softness and divinity of womanhood, of Mother Earth, of love and gentleness and warmth. That's what we all need. That's what heals. None of that sad, negative, angry, proving shit or harshness or need. Just softness, acceptance, openness, contentment. Mm. And then there were a bunch of cute things in there. Thank you for the blessing. Mm. A bunch of things that said weird girl energy or weird girls welcome or weird girl club. And I was like, yeah, yeah. Mm. Open mind and an open heart and unconditional love. Mm. Got to do yoga by the sea bench. Oh, my phone's gonna die, y'all. But I'm about to do some yoga by the sea. Ooh, honey, not the phone go. That would be literally y'all continuing to live on a. Um, yeah, we're almost to our next goal of 150 subs. I appreciate every sub, every follow. Wonton on all platforms: IG, TikTok, YouTube. We got the Discord and the IG chat, so y'all stay tapped in. And I will check back in with y'all and let you know what more of the journey is coming and what's here. But yeah, if y'all fuck with the music, leave a comment, show some love. I appreciate all the love and support. Keep it real, keep it hot.